We're going to do 5 things we learned on the road trip. And we worked together. We put our brains together on this one. I found some interesting numbers. I was hoping to uncover a narrative, and I actually uncovered the opposite of it. And I'll get to that in point number 5. But point number 1, Jack Roslovic is really, really damn good. He is what Jeff Skinner was supposed to be, and he absolutely changes the complexion of this forward group.
I 100% agree.
On all fronts.
He's arguably, in a weird way, been their most valuable player. In the sense of, like, if he wasn't playing as well as he is, nobody else would be stepping up to help McDavid and Draisaitl. Right? Yeah. Like, they would have really be suffering if they didn't have him. What's he at, 17 points, I think, on the season. He showed up for them on many occasions. It would have been crazy to think, too, like, if that shot just goes in overtime against Tampa Bay, you know what I mean?
He's got another one.
He's got another overtime winner, and, like, it didn't go in, and it was a great save. But he was right there to make the opportunity happen. So, yeah, what an addition he's been for the Oilers. Whilst we always pick out the negatives, it's a lot easier to do that. He's been a fantastic story. And, I mean, again, like, maybe someone can correct me in the chat, but maybe the best signing of the summer based off value.
Oh, my God, it's not even close. Like, he's $1.5 million. And I do wonder, I'm not doing the extension thing with Roslovic. Like, I'm serious.
I'm not doing it yet either. I think it has to come later.
Yeah. I honestly probably just won't even do it till after the playoffs, just because this is a guy with a history of disappearing a little bit when the moment gets big. And I do think you need to raise an eyebrow at a guy who produces as well as he does, who's on his 4th team in 3 years and 5th team of his NHL career already. I think that's like an important note in his history. But there's a chance, going back to 4th team in 3 years, maybe Jack Roslovic looks at Edmonton and is like, I have a home here. Like, I actually fit in here.
Yeah.
I get to play with Connor and Leon. I get a chance to win and go on deep playoff runs. Like, maybe the part of Roslovic who, listen, if you would have talked to this guy in September, you would have been talking to a guy who was probably pretty pissed off that he lost out on $12 million over the summer. He turned down money. He fumbled the negotiations. You know, his agent messed up. Maybe if you go to him and go, listen, Jack, you have a home here. We're going to give you a chance to recoup some of that money you lost. 4x5. $20 million in your jeans. How's it sound? Have a chance to win here. And also, he's 28. So that would be his 29 through 33-year-old season. You give him a chance to, again, play here well for a number of years and probably get another 2 or 3 year deal on the tail end of it at potentially more money when the cap goes up. Like, I do wonder if there's a chance that a long-term partnership here between these two sides makes even more sense and comes in at a lower dollar value than we'd expect. But Roslovic just keeps producing.
So last season on Carolina, Roslovic in 81 games, obviously Edmonton's a lot smaller of a sample size, averaged 13 minutes and 13:49 time on ice. In Edmonton, he's 17:37.
Damn.
It's true. Like, maybe he just looks at it, like, I'm being used correctly. There's nobody really coming up to, like, take that exact spot. You know what I mean? Oilers have been desperate for right wingers for years. I don't know. It'd be tough for me to see him walk, but I'm with you. I wouldn't be doing it now by any means. I think closer to the trade deadline is when you start to talk about that stuff at least.
Yeah.
Get serious about it.
Next up, number 2. This one, Matt Savoie can play with the big dogs. For things we learned from the 7-game road trip, like, that is a guy going on the road, playing some tough teams, some very stingy defensive teams.
Yeah.
You can talk about Philly. Like, the narrative coming into that game was Philly doesn't give up anything. Carolina, very good defensively. Washington, very good defensively. Tampa Bay, strong veteran team. Florida, strong veteran team. And, like, no matter where they played Matt Savoie, whether it was up with Connor, whether it was away, I thought Matt Savoie had himself a very, very good road trip. And if there were any doubters in Matt Savoie coming into this 7-game trip, they should all be gone by now, because this guy proved no matter how you want to use him, he makes an impact on the game.
Completely agree. I am a Matt Savoie truther.
Yep.
And he is an awesome player.
So then let me throw you this. I was looking at some of the numbers for Jack Roslovic. The Oilers had a little bit of a run there where they played around with him as a centerman, right? He is a good 5-on-5 hockey player. When he's been on the ice with Connor, the results are maybe lagging a little bit behind.
Sorry, Savoie or Roslovic?
I'm talking Roslovic really quick, and then I'm going to tie it back into Savoie.
Okay.
Roslovic and McDavid, the numbers are meh. Roslovic and Leon, the numbers are exceptional. Even if some of the fancies aren't great, they're so productive. And I think that even on shifts where they get caved, the fact they can flip it, go the other way, and score as simply as they make it look, Very, very impressive. Roslovic away from Connor and Leon. The Oilers have been outscored 4-1, but the expected numbers are all good. Like, there's actually a lot of positive trends there with that, which brings me to Roslovic and Savoie, and it makes me curious about these two. The fancies aren't great with them, but I wonder if maybe there's not a fit there. Is Roslovic maybe the player who does allow you to go supernova? Like, especially when they're healthy. Like, when Nuge is back in the lineup. Is a Nuge Savoie Roslovic line something worth experimenting with, or do you just want to keep him with one of Connor or Leon in more of a complementary role?
I just want to keep him with Leon, and then I'll just put Nugent-Hyman with McDavid. Or Hyman down the line. I'll keep Savoie up high with McDavid.
You got a tag in my shirt? It's driving me nuts. That felt so good to get off.
And then like Podkolzin, Draisaitl, and McDavid and Roslovic, has been a great line. I just think that top six is built out to be a certain way, and I just wouldn't waste the talent they actually have in there on just having McDavid and Draisaitl together. Like, I don't want to know anymore if guys can play away from them. I just want to see those guys thrive with either one of the 2 or 3 best players in the league. You know what I mean? I'm just so over it. At the start of the season, I was all in. Now I am pretty close to out. But also, too, I will say on top of that, I also understand why Knoblauch goes to it so often. Because sometimes guys just aren't going, and you have that weapon, and you go for it. But I do want to see it more trusted in certain ways, too.
So you have Connor and Leon down the middle in your top 6 then.
Yep.
Lock it in. Let's stop dicking around and playing with other things.
Agreed.
I can subscribe to that theory then.
Welcome.
Your options are Savoie, Podkolzin, Roslovic, Mangiapane, Hyman, and Nuge. 2 guys are pieces you need to move down to the bottom 6, play in a third line role, whether it's with Henrique or with Frederick, whatever. I mean, the Oilers on paper are starting to look like the very deep team that we thought they'd be.
Yes.
But
they're going to have to make a tough decision.
But so who are you who do you want? Give me your ideal lineup. Let's say Nuge officially, by the way, listed as game time decision for tomorrow.
Okay.
So let's say tomorrow morning, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins wakes up and he feels awesome. What are you doing?
There we go.
Ooh, that was a good knuckle crack.
Savoie, McDavid. Hold on. Yes. Savoie, McDavid, Hyman.
Okay.
Podkolzin, Draisaitl, Roslovic, Mangiapane, Nuge, Frederick. And then my fourth line, that would be Ultimate Health, if I'm remembering the players correctly. I don't even know if this works for Cap, but whatever. Ian Mark, Henrique, Kapanen. So then my healthy scratches would be Philp, Lazar, Tomasek, whoever goes down, whatever you have to do.
Give me your third line again.
Mangiapane, Nuge, Frederick.
And then Rico on the fourth line.
I mean, if you really want to, I think Rico's actually been fine this season. He's obviously not scoring, which is maybe why you need that third line to have a Nugent-Hopkins on there a little bit more. I don't like Mangiapane higher up the lineup. But if I'm looking at this at the deadline, I'm trying to get someone to play again in that top 6 so that I can move Hyman down. Because if I'm remembering correctly, again, Kane, Nugent, Hyman was a pretty good line in the playoffs. Yep. So if I can kind of bring that around again and have Hyman on my third line, and I would have Mangiapane on my fourth line.
I wonder about trusting Roslovic a little bit as a driver.
I think it also works with Draisaitl and McDavid. I think that makes that line extra dangerous.
And I totally understand that, but let me throw this your way. McDavid, Savoie, Hyman. Okay, that's a good line.
It's a great line.
Like, you got a guy who can complement the skill in Savoie. You have a finisher in Zach Hyman who's going to work hard and get in on the forecheck, all that. Just don't touch Draisaitl, Podkolzin, and Mangiapane.
I don't think Mangiapane is playing well enough. That's my own. Man, he's such a wild card. When he's way more effective without them.
Yeah, like I get that, but then it opens up a third line that could potentially have Roslovic and Nuge playing together, and that's very tempting to me because, again, I think Roslovic can score away from those guys. So, like, I guess the arguments we're kind of making here is, like, do you want a truly dominant top 6, or do you want a top 9 where you've built 3 scoring lines?
Top 9. That's how Florida won.
So then you'd go with my theory then of moving Roslovic away.
I would go get another forward. That would be my theory, is find another player.
And I mean, you know what? That might be something they do because like the names we hear attached to them are like the Boone Jenners and the Alex Tucks of the world. So like, yeah, if there's a world where like you can go into the playoffs with, let's even say you get Boone Jenner and you're running a third line that's like Jenner, Nuge, and Roslovic.
Jenner, Nuge, and Roslovic?
Yeah.
You just not want Roslovic in your top 6 or something?
Okay, sure. Well, I mean, I just keep thinking of the way things would kind of filter out. But like if you go get Alex Tuck.
Yeah, then I would have Hyman on my third line.
Yeah, it gives you so many possibilities, hey?
I know. And they're already pretty good. And they just came off a road trip where they finished 500. There's a long way to go for this team. But I think it is kind of lining up for them now. It's like at the start of the summer when they obviously minus Roslovic, it's like, okay, we envision ourselves as this depth team. But now they've been forced into spots where they only have 11 forwards some nights. So I'm curious to see how this continues. I think Kapanen's been a bit more of a missed player than we've wanted to give credit for. He's not super useful all the time, but he does bring a lot of speed. He's physical, can score. He's a good bottom 6 player for them. Someone you can spot start in your top 6 with skill if you really, really need to. Hopefully we don't get to that point. I feel like you're pondering something.
I'm going back to what you said about Mangiapane without Connor and Leon.
Is it right? Am I wrong?
It's bad.
Without him?
They're getting out with Mangiapane on the ice and Connor and Leon away on the bench. They're getting outscored 10-2 this year.
I feel like when he's playing, though, he's not even playing to his game. You know what I mean? He's been a weird player.
He's a weird player,
at the start of the season,
man.
It was like, oh, this is actually quite exciting because he scored that first night without McDavid and Drysdale. Aaron had the stat earlier in the season where he played 3 or 4 games with McDavid and just didn't register a shot, left McDavid, got a goal. It's just like, it's so difficult to go and play with those guys, and I just don't think he has the identity in his game. I think he might just be a banger and crasher who can chip in some goals, which maybe isn't ideal for a guy that makes.
But then if you're going to play him down there, you need him to lean into it a little bit.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And that's just kind of the frustrating part is, he feels like a guy who's stuck in the middle right now of like, what do they want from me? Right? Like when he's up with Connor and Leon, like he's supposed to be a skill guy. He's supposed to be a shooter, but he doesn't really shoot the puck all that much. And then you put him in the bottom 6 and he tries to carry it. And it's like, I don't know. He's been a very, very awkward and quite frankly disappointing fit for me so far. And that's, you know, and maybe that's like even an unfair thing for me to say. And maybe I'm just picking up too many things on him. He is on pace for 14 to 16 goals,
which is good.
Kind of what he's supposed to be, I guess.
Yeah. I just want to, if he's not scoring goals, he needs to do something else.
Yeah.
He needs to be a physical presence like he has kind of been throughout his career. I remember Mangiapane on Calgary was a pain in the ass to play against.
Yeah.
My next one, I'm kind of flipping it a little bit, though.
Okay.
Because I've decided in my head, it's not Nurse and Bouchard, and it's not Ekholm and Bouchard. It's just Evan Bouchard.
Yeah.
It's just him.
Hold up. So you're telling me that whoever you play with Evan Bouchard has better numbers than when you don't play them with Evan Bouchard.
Yeah.
So the Venn diagram here, like if you did Nurse good, Nurse bad, Ekholm good, Ekholm bad, the Ekholm good comes when you play him with Bouchard. And the Nurse good comes when you play him with Bouchard. And the Nurse bad comes when you play him with anyone but Bouchard. And the Ekholm bad comes when you play him with anyone but Evan Bouchard. What is the... Whoa. What did we just... Hold up. Is Evan Bouchard a number 1 defenseman?
He might be pretty good player.
Wait. When did Brett Kulak play his best hockey as an Oiler?
Let me check. With Evan Bouchard.
In the playoffs last year. As a number 1 pairing.
That is crazy stuff.
Huh.
We have discussed... Someone get Mark Stewart on the phone. Where's Doug Armstrong? Tell him about this guy.
Mark, you're not going to believe this. Oh, you already know Evan Bouchard's your best defenseman. Okay, I'll hang up. What are we fucking doing here? That's what we learned on the road trip. We knew it. I feel like everyone else had to relearn it. Evan Bouchard makes all the players on the ice with him better. Holy shit.
So Evan Bouchard.
That might be the thickest we've ever laid it on.
So this was just on the road trip. Played 94 minutes with Matthias Ekholm. This is at 5-5, by the way. Outscored their opponents 9-2. Mm-hmm. He played 23 minutes, and this was kind of my original point, and I thought about it a bit more. With Darnell Nurse, they outscored their opponents 4-1. He played 5 minutes with Warm, and the rest of them just about a minute or two. I wonder, I think they're always going to go and just give Ekholm and Bouchard the reins to kind of figure it out amongst themselves. But I'm starting to wonder if like Nurse should go up. And again, I spoke about the Regula thing. I think D. White put it in the chat. It's like Nurse has always kind of had the anchor, and he's always the one that gets blamed for it. And he has been bad at times, of course. We all know it. But like, should he play higher up the lineup and Ekholm try and find a game with Warman? Now they've got Ekholm going a little bit better as well. I wonder if that can kind of round out the top four. Kulak and Emberson has been fairly decent for them as well on the road trip. That's kind of the way I'm looking at things slightly now. They for reference, Ekholm and Warman played 22 minutes together on this road trip. They were outscored 1-0, but everything else was 9-5 shots for. Yeah. Their Corsi was 65%.
XGF with them on the ice together this year is 55%.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
No, it's good.
Anything above 50 seems
means with the level of play you have, you should be outscoring the other team. Takes goaltending out of it a little bit, I guess.
Shackled Halo. Did they? I think that's Sadistic Angel. Said, "Come on, D's been terrible. Every single one of them." That's just not true.
It's not true.
They've actually been playing a lot better recently. They just give up a lot of high danger chances, and it looks way worse than it probably is. But offensively, they've actually been pretty good.
Number 4, things we learned on the road trip. There's some toughness buried in this Oilers team.
I like this
one
one
a lot. It took a while for them to get it out, to show it. But this Oilers team, Vasily Podkolzin had a great play where he kind of walked the walk after talking the talk, where he said, like, guys aren't going to push our stars around. And against Florida, someone went to push around Connor McDavid, and Podkolzin was standing nearby and was like, nope, not letting this fly. And he went at him.
Wallman gets nailed by Douglas. Nurse steps up.
Fights a guy who is 6'9".
6'9". Did a really good job. Obviously,
Matthias Janmark has been getting in every scrum.
That's a good one, Matthias Janmark as well. He's had a good impact. I've actually been pretty pleased with Matthias Janmark, to be honest. He had a couple of decent chances as well at the end of that Florida game. I believe it was him. Could have scored. Obviously, it's not his game. We all know that. Whatever. But he's finding a way to be impactful. Ty Emberson's done a good job. Obviously, they called up Kladenberg. He had the moment at the end of the game.
Yep.
Frederick as well. He had a fight on this road trip, if I'm not. Did he have a fight?
Oh, he had the thing with Greer. And then he did fight.
Did he fight?
Yes, he did.
Trent Frederick? He fought again, right? Maybe I'm just thinking of the Greer one. I might be mistaken.
Yeah, it is just that one.
Okay. Either way, like, a really good thing to see. I hope this team can have that in them more often, because you look down the lineup and they have tough players to play against.
Yeah.
Like, Darnell Nurse is a tough guy. He's a legit, like, I think people fear fighting him. I really do. Podkolzin again. Hyman's not easy to play against, just from a physical standpoint. Frederick, obviously. Klattenberg, we'll see what he does. Janmark. But I like that side of them when they can bring it out in themselves. And I hope these last few games have kind of brought them together a little bit. And I wonder if something was said, because it was very forced in that Columbus game. We all felt it. It was good to see, but it feels very organic as of late.
Yeah, like the game against Florida, they don't like Florida. Simple as that. And they played like a team that didn't like Florida. And I kind of hope that, again, the toughness was trickling out here and there throughout the road trip. And then it really came naturally to them against Florida. I'm kind of hoping that Florida game put them in a bit of a mood here. Yeah. And it's like, you know what, guys? We won the game. I think that helps a ton, too.
Agreed.
When you have a game where you're punching guys and standing up for your teammates and Greer's doing dirty shit, like, listen, this is a thing that rings true at every level of hockey. If you have a game where shit like that happens and you win it, when you're hooting and hollering in the room after together, it sets in a little bit. It makes it way more likely that you're going to go out and repeat that behavior going forward, because it does bring the group together.
It's even like, there's always the cliche, sorry, Aaron, you go on road trips and it bonds everybody.
It does when you do shit like that.
But if you lose every night, it doesn't do anything. But if you win and have those moments, like you said, it's like, that's when it comes together for you.
Do you not think they had way more fun sitting on the plane ride home, crushing a bunch of beers, playing cards, being like, fucking rights, boys. We fought and we won.
You walk the walk, you talk the talk. Yep. There was one that was against Washington. I just want to point it out because it matters more from your leaders. Tom Wilson goes at Matt Savoie after the whistle, and 97 is the one who comes in.
Totally.
It's not going to tolerate some of that. And We don't want Connor getting touched, but he is a grown-ass man, and it means more when the guy wearing a C or Darnell Nurse comes in to defend Jake Woolman. It means more from them, and those are the guys who have been doing it lately.
That's a good one. I totally forgot about that because he didn't even get blown up. I think it looked worse than it actually was, but it was a big hit. Yep. There's no doubt about it. Even Bouchard, big hit on Nikita Kucherov in that Tampa Bay game too.
Yeah, just threw him to the ground.
Yeah, like I couldn't tell you another time Bouchard had a hit on somebody. To be honest, it's a nice game.
Well, that
obviously.
big of a hit,
yeah. That impactful, yes.
Like an open ice kind of like he'll give a guy a stick on the sideboards or whatever. But okay, 5th point we got.
We have 6. I mean,
no. That's my stat
a different
there.
one.
That's
my honorable mention.
So are the Oilers a bad road team?
Yes. I think they're an average road team.
Over the last 3 years, you know where they rank in road points percentage? 14th.
There you go.
Their points percentage on the road the last 3 years, 536. Their points percentage on this road trip, 500. Perfect. They were like a touch worse than they usually are on the road. But if you want the number one reason to believe in this Edmonton Oilers team, over the last 3 years, you know where they rank in home points percentage? 5th. 694. What did we say they needed to do to make the playoffs?
600 win percentage.
600.
Yeah.
If they can be 500 on the road and 694 at home this season, I'm no mathematician, but that's like a 590 something. They'll make the playoffs. They will. And actually, no, it'll be higher than that because they have way more home games than road games.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do the math because, quite frankly, I don't know how, but more home games where you dominate, fewer road games the rest of the year. If you are a 694 home team and a 500 road team the rest of the year, you're making the playoffs.
So they've played 16 road games, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they've played almost half their road games already this season.
Half their road games at 25% of the season.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about that.
So I was really curious to dig into the numbers of how do the home and road splits affect the with and without yous for Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, because that is a really interesting measure of how this team's playing. Is what is their plus minus with Connor and Leon off the ice at 5-on-5? Are they getting dominated and caved, or are they finding ways to hold on and break even? So far this season, with Connor and Leon off the ice on the road, they're -6. With Connor and Leon off the ice at home, in 185 fewer 5-on-5 minutes, they're -14. Isn't that insane?
Yes.
They're like
that is crazy.
So I did this whole exercise, and like, listen, sometimes when you start to research something, you have it in your brain that like, I'm going to unearth this answer. And I was fully expecting to find out that the Oilers are, maybe a little bit better on the road with Connor and Leon off the ice because the other team's picking matchups, right? So I thought, okay, the Oilers' bottom 6 gets softer matchups because the other team's best players go up against Connor and Leon, and you kind of like do the mental math from that point on. But like with Connor and Leon off the ice this year on home ice, they're getting outscored 19-5. With Connor or Leon on the ice, they're winning 11-7. So they're a negative across the board, but like they get worked on home ice with Connor and Leon off the ice, which was surprising to me. On the road this year, again, it is a larger sample size, but they are -6 with Connor and Leon off the ice. And with Connor or Leon or both on the ice, it's 8, 16, 22-22. It's dead even. That was very interesting for me to uncover. And then I got curious, did this also happen last year? And yeah, it was the same thing last year.
Oh.
With Connor and Leon off the ice, they're a better road team than a home team. So I kind of just looked at it and was like, I wasn't even sure if it was worth bringing up on the show because I don't know how to read into those numbers, but the numbers are interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, I don't really know where to go with that. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, like it's just weird. It's just a legitimately weird thing to read because it doesn't match up what I feel like I see with my eyes. What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.